It's Wellness Nerd Out time! How you guys doing today? Happy Wellness Nerd Out time. And today we are going to be talking about a study that I was reading today. Just came out. Super interesting stuff on the formation of memories. And what we had thought is, and with the formation of memories, it would either strengthen or weaken certain synapses in the brain, certain synaptic connections between neurons regarding that specific activity. But interestingly, that very much so may not be the case, according to this study done at Southern California University, where they genetically engineered zebrafish with neurons that would produce fluorescent proteins that bind to synapses. So then what they did is they made a 3D map of the fish's brain, and they saw where these fluorescent proteins were forming in response to certain stimuli. All right, and what they did was classical conditioning, where they would give a unpleasant stimulus and a neutral stimulus, something that normally wouldn't bother it at all, simultaneously to see the effect it would have on memory formation. And very interestingly, over time, as they gave both stimuli simultaneously, if they gave it the neutral stimuli, it had the same effect on the brain in terms of memory formation as did the unpleasant stimuli. And so specifically, the anterolateral dorsal pallium of the brain created new synaptic connections, while the anteromedial dorsal pallium of the brain actually removed synaptic connections. And this is what is very unique. It removed certain synaptic connections and created new ones. It almost prioritized to create the new ones. And it's interesting because we had never thought before that forming a new memory would actually remove a pathway. We thought that it would strengthen or weaken or affect some pathway. We never had known it would remove a pathway and then produce a new one. And the dorsal pallium in zebrafish is thought to act in an analogous sense to the amygdala in humans, which processes fear emotions. And so there may be some potential clinical implications in the future here for PTSD patients, as associated memories are the strongest types of memories and act similarly to traumatic memories. So as we've said, that neutral stimuli, now it had the same effect as the unpleasant stimuli. And so with someone with PTSD, if they hear a loud noise or they see a bright light or something that reminds them of combat, it can stimulate the activation of that same connection related to the unpleasant stimuli. And so maybe the way we should go about treatment in the future is to remove old synaptic connections, try to manipulate the brain to remove those old connections. So really, really cool stuff. I just wanted to share with you guys. Very fascinating, potentially, a breakthrough study here in the truth about memory formation. So we'll see where it takes us here in the future. You guys have a great, great rest of your day. If you want to talk about anything in particular tomorrow, please send me a message. I'd be happy to talk about it. And you have a great rest of your day. Happy Wend Wellness. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Ciao.